Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to another vlog. This one touches a bit on, well, mostly on the best days of the year. And now I'm going to share with you a few tips that kept me connected by the mercy and tawfiq of Allah Azza wa Jal. So number one is the Quran. I mean, increasing in your reading of Quran with understanding. And mashallah tabarakallah, I kept coming across ayat that which is so on point with the day of Arafah, like this one. Why should Allah punish you if you have thanked Him and have believed in Him? And Allah is ever all appreciative, all good, all knowing. And so, this was on the day of Arafah, and I was like, oh, so Allah appreciates the good that we do. And it just, like, reading it with the meaning really helps you stay connected. This is why Quran is the greatest reminder. So tip number one is really increasing the amount of time that you spend with the Quran, especially with the translation and reflecting and pondering over it. Next point in staying connected was being organized. The more organized I was, and I'll talk more about it inshallah in the video, the more organized I was, the easier it was for me to be focused. So organizing things, just even my own bag, having everything that I needed as I was going to the library to study, keeping my stuff organized. Like I have these pouches. I'm gonna make a separate video when I do my favorites again, things I'm grateful for. I bought these little pouches, and I'm able to keep things, and so it's easy for me to have access into my purse. So that was very helpful, being organized when it comes to like what I'm gonna cook, what time I'm gonna go study, where I'm gonna be at what time, what am I gonna do at what time I'm gonna wake up. Like really having a detailed list of the day was very, very helpful in staying focused. Another point was cooking very quick meals. And this is a dish that I cook usually when I don't really have much time. It's a quick dinner, it's less than 30 minutes, and it's ready, and it's full of vitamins. Vitamin C with the peppers, and then you have your iron with the spinach, and it's tasty, and you could eat it with rice, with plantains, with a whole bunch of things. And so this is my go-to when I don't want to spend too much time in the kitchen. I have other things to do. So yeah, so that is the third point is, making sure that you do things that will save you time, bi'idhnillah. Fourth point is adhkar, making time for some adhkar, making time for some exercise as well. Walking to the library was just a huge blessing, because I know myself, when if I'm fasting, I usually don't want to go out and get my steps in, but because I had to go study in the library, because I get more things done in the library, and the library is walking distance, it pushed me to get my steps in. So having a reason to exercise, it was a really great tip during these best days, alhamdulillah. So I've already mentioned connecting more with the Quran. Also, during these best days, enroll in a class, because my classes really helped me stay connected. Like there was messages on Tawheed everywhere I turned. I was teaching Surah Al-Mulk as well, and it was just like really reinforcing, the adhkar of Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah. All of these adhkar that we're supposed to do during the best days. It just made it so much easier to remember them, because the classes that I was taking were all talking about the Tawheed of Allah. So I was teaching Mulk, I was studying Surah Al-An'am, as you could tell here. Really amazing, mashallah, tabarakallah.
In the higher realms and also in the lower realms is who? Only Allah. Meaning there is no place except that Allah alone is worthy of worship over there.
I'm also preparing for the membership club challenge, upcoming one, and that one is about Ibadur Rahman and how to emulate them as much as possible. And so that also kept me connected. Listening to the Quran, this app, I'll share the link inshallah in the description below. All right, we're gonna go into our evening adhkar. And I'm gonna planned the rest of my week, the rest of the best days, inshallah. We were blessed with 2 Jum'ahs in these best days. The first one on the first day, and then Jum'ah again on the 8th day. So this was such a blessing. So here we're on our way to Jum'ah on the 8th day on Yom Tarwiyah. Alhamdulillah. And I mentioned this small pocket Quran that I'm able to go with to places. I like that better than my phone if I want to disconnect. And so so I brought it to the masjid so I could read and be away from the phone. So again, that was another thing that was a very good tip to stay connected, was I came out of Facebook and I was really trying to stay away from the phone as much as I could. I mentioned earlier how staying connected with the Quran was really, I think, the main thing that kept me connected and focused during these best days. And me teaching Surah Al-Mulk was just perfect. So we started the class on the first day, which was on a Friday. And then we had a second class. Our second class was the Friday of the 8th day. And so those two classes really repeating the ayah over and over and over with the students for them to memorize, trying to give them tips to memorize. It was really keeping me focused as well. So alhamdulillah for Quran. Honestly, the main tip in all of this was Quran and organization. فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه. Let's go ahead and break it down now. هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض. This was a beautiful class, mashallah, tabarakallah. And one student especially impressed me because she was actually joining in from Paris, and it was 1 a.m. where she was. But she stayed with us throughout the hour and repeated and recited. And I pray that Allah makes it heavy on her scale of hasanat on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Look at this beautiful reminder of Dhul Hijjah. Today, June 14th, who was the father of the Prophet Ismail and Ishaq? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Tabarakallah. It's amazing how the reminders kept coming together. I showed you on Friday the 14th, my calendar was asking me about the father, right? Ibrahim, the answer was Ibrahim alayhi salam. And now, subhanAllah, we have the day of Arafah, and I was listening to this sermon. Actually, I listened to it in both French and English because it was taking a long time to load, and so I just put French and I put English. The first one to come was French, and then I decided to listen to it, some of it as well in English. But yeah, it kept me focused. He summarized beautifully the rites of Hajj, and it just reminded me 2 years back my own experience with my husband, and it's just really started the day of Arafah for us really on a good footing, because this sermon was like 5 a.m. in where we are in the US. It was 5 a.m. But it was, for them, it was 12, it was noon. So yeah, it was really nice listening to it live, and it helped to put us in that atmosphere of Arafah. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Another tip that kept me focused was the challenge that I had in my group, in my Telegram group. I usually do a 3-day challenge at the end of the month. We haven't done it in a while, but I was like, if I want to make the most of these 10 days, I need to challenge myself. And let me just use that 3-day principle, but make it 10 days. And so we actually made it 9 days. Plus, if you had a list of what you planning on doing before the challenge starts, then that counted as 10 points. So, and every action counts as 10 points. So that challenge was really helpful. Like I said, it kept me organized, it kept me focused. So definitely, inshallah, if Allah gives me tawfiq and long life, I'm planning on doing challenges in Dhul Hijjah because that kept me going. Also using this new template that I'm using in my planner, Get It Done, because sometimes you forget what you get done. So I love to now at the end of the day write down what I got done, so it keeps me, I have a good, understanding of what needs to be done the next day, the next week. And also, one more thing, one last tip for you is the fact that we absolutely, absolutely, absolutely need to make dua. So these were best days to make dua, and especially the day of Arafah. And that's something else that I noticed and I learned from, is that for everything that I had to do, I had to, like the day I had to renew my driver's license, I made dua to Allah that He helps everything goes smoothly, and it did. You know, the woman was a bit rude, but honestly, it was so much smoother than, you know, like the way she came across as somebody who was gonna really make things difficult, but it's almost like Allah just prevented her from doing that, and acting out, and she just was able to keep it together and get my stuff done. And so to me, that was like dua. I mean, dua is everything. And so yes, making dua for your relationship with the Quran, making dua for everything, being productive, being organized, being focused. Dua is key. And that is our final tip. Inshallah, I pray that you benefited from all these tips. I pray that you had a wonderful best days. And you know, you may want to like keep this video for next year. Maybe that will help you plan for the next best days, inshallah. And any good is from Allah. Remember that we're entering, you know, the Eid with the days of Tashriq. So go ahead with the specific takbir at the end of Salah. The specific tahmid, tahleel, like this picture is showing you. And also you could pause the recording and see, you know, how to do that. And also for my students and my clients, we will not be having any classes or sessions during the days of Tashriq, and nor will we have anything going on during the day of Eid. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful Eid Adha. May Allah accept from us. Taqabbal Allahu minna wa minkum. And I will see you in another vlog. Bi-idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.